sustainability is what it's about. You grow food in your house. It's made like mud domes. And I was asking him all these sort of boring questions from my sort of framework, and he said, you've got to stop thinking like that. It's not about radically changing the materials that you're using. It's about revolutionising your thinking and the culture's thinking. And I went, yeah, that is really true. And then I went back to the plans I had for my own house. Because isn't it hard to walk? It's one thing to believe something, it's another thing to actually do it. There's a huge gap between that, I think. So, Jimmy, with any questions for the panel, do approach.
This is not so much a question, but Auntie Annabelle. Oh, I think it was Auntie Annabelle or the other man.
Uncle Harry.
Uncle Harry, yeah. About challenging stuff on racism. On my case, it's got on there, no room for racism. Doesn't matter what it is, sexuality, whatever. So I'll hand it back to Mandy. Thank you.
So have we got anyone that wants to start a conversation or have something that come from the audience they'd like to throw in? You're all right?
I've
got
something that I've got to jump in with about making a paradigm shift, and so what you were saying reminded me that this is something that I feel really strongly about in this region. When I speak to people, what I often hear is that we're going to find coping mechanisms to work with what we've got to make it better than it is. And we're going to work within this box and then within this framework. And what I say, and I think what I've always said, is there's more boxes. There's other frames. And what I would like to see happening in our area is a shift in the paradigm. One of the things that I'm working with at the moment is sexuality with teenagers. We did a youth speak event at the Sex and Consciousness Conference last week, and a lot of people said that that was the most profound experience that they had during that conference, because the young people were so willing and ready to express their vulnerability about this very, very touchy topic. So I guess what I'm saying is, what I would like to encourage in this area is that we are the shifters of the paradigm, and then that goes out into the world. And if anybody would like to talk to me about that work with the teenagers, I think it's our responsibility of adults to do anything that we can to mature ourselves, to go through our rites of passage, to take on ourselves as mature adults, and then look back and see what it is we can give back into our communities and what we can give back into for our children. So I'd like to throw that one out to this audience.
Thanks, Amrita. I also have Graham here. Oh, I know you, Graham, from many incarnations ago.
Hi, I'd just like to tell you that when you're applying for a job, or whether you're going into Centrelink, whatever it is, let them know that if they're going to employ you, they're to employ your full intelligence and not just a part of it. Because if you sell just a part of your intelligence, you're selling your soul.
Thanks, Graham. It'll take a bit of staff retraining, I think, Graham, as well, the whole. Is anyone else here who would like to keep the conversation going?
While you're working up the courage to ask a question, I'd just like to take this moment to also put out for marriage equality, which a lot of people don't think affects them because they're not gay or they don't know anybody that's gay. But really, this is a matter of human rights. It's about equal opportunity for everybody. And what it is at the moment is legalised